Hi, this is Wendy. We're going to do just a short 20-30 minute practice. And we'll start. I'm going to be standing. I'm doing standing meditation, but you can lie down or sit, whatever feels comfortable for you. And you want to be really relaxed, but alert. Very alert to your experience, um, how your body is feeling today, how the room is feeling. Um, you may need to work with a chair, so you can have a chair nearby. Um, if you might need a chair, just put it nearby so that you'll have it when you need it. All right, so we're starting in this meditative process of observing your experience, breathing and observing. Close your eyes if you can. If you're standing, that may not be possible. You may feel that it takes you off balance. But you could then open your eyes and look down at the floor and not focus on anything interesting. Just let the gaze be very soft and downward. Maybe looking toward your heart. As you're breathing, you're noticing the breath moving in the body. So maybe you feel it in the chest, or maybe you feel it in the back body, or the abdomen, or the back of the neck. The breath comes and goes, and you're just observing it, not trying to change it, not trying to make it be any particular way, just observing it. You notice if you brought anything to your mat at this time in terms of thoughts, memories, emotions, physical issues. Just noticing what is there right now that you brought in with you, not what you were experiencing a half an hour ago or yesterday, but right now, what you might be, what might be um, hanging on in you. You're aware of any sounds in the room, things you're picking up on with your senses, tastes in your mouth, light on your eyelids, the touch of your body against whatever is the ground for you. For me, it's my feet. For you, it might be the back of your body. It might be the sit bones underneath your buttocks. And you feel the ground. You feel your connection to the earth. And the breath is moving gently in and out. As you continue to just relax, I'm going to pick a card out of the basket. We'll see what it invites us to pay attention to. This is an interesting one. You can take it any way that you want. It uses the word God in it, and sometimes that can be a trigger for people. Just think of the universe, if that's true. We were born to make manifest the glory of God that is within us. So I think if you look at it as God, if that's a concept for you that fits, a reality for you that fits, or looking at it as just we're taking this life and manifesting the absolute best that we find in our life. The gloriousness of being alive, of being present with our possibilities for doing good and for appreciating that we are here on this earth. So when you're ready, you can begin to move and stretch. Whatever position you're in, you can stretch. If you're lying down, you can stretch your arms and your legs. If you're seated, you can stretch your arms, maybe leaning to one side or the other. And if you're standing, you can stretch down into your feet and up into your arms. And when you're ready, whatever position you've taken, come up, come to your side, and come up to standing. And we're going to start in Tadasana, the mountain pose. So you have the inside edges of the feet down and the outside edges of the heels and the outside edges of the balls of the feet and the inside edges of the heels. So there are four corners, the two inner and outer corners of the balls of the feet, two inner and outer corners of the heels, but they work diagonally with the outer heel and the outer ball of the foot, the outer ball of, wait a minute. Let's do that again. They work diagonally between the outer ball of the foot and the outer heel on each foot. And between I'm doing 2 feet. That's interesting. I was doing outer ball of the foot on one and outer heel on the other. Outer ball of the foot on the other foot and outer heel on the other. That's not quite it. We're looking at the bottom of the foot, each foot. Outer ball of the foot, inner heel. Inner ball of the foot, outer heel. You could notice that if you put a lot of pressure on the outer ball of the foot and heel, then the legs turn out. You put a lot of pressure on the inner ball of the foot and the inner heel, the legs turn in. And we want the legs to be stable, both turning out and turning in at the same time. So inner ball of the foot, outer ball of the foot, inner heel. Those diagonals where they cross, you can imagine that you could pull up and lift the arches. Breathing and observing as you pay attention to the center of the pad of the heel. Take your awareness into that center pad of the heel and step down into it. The torso tends to align over the ankles. So the ears over the shoulders, over the hips, over the ankles. Just from stepping into the heels. And when you get active in those four corners of the feet and the ball and the heels, you find that the torso also gets more active. The floor of the pelvis tends to pull up. The waist tends to narrow, and there's length between the hips and under the arms. And you draw the throat back toward the wall behind you. And breathe. All right, so we're going to do a little bit of Qigong warm-up. So lighten up your stance a little bit and start swinging around first. Just let the arms swing loose. You can hear them flap against you. You can look behind, but if that makes you dizzy, just look ahead. Going a little bit faster, the arms flap a little bit more wildly. And then we're going to reduce the flapping and let the arms come back on their own to neutral. Take a breath in, make fists, and as you exhale, hit the front of the chest with one fist and the back of the upper body with the other fist, back and forth. You can be comfortable in your stance, but still be upright. And then we're going to open our hands and hit the shoulder and the back. And then we're going to stop, shake out a little bit, put out the left hand and pat all the way from the shoulder down to the hand. And do that 3 times. Turn the palm over 3 times. And then from the underarm all the way to the little finger 3 times. The other hand, pat from the shoulder to the hand 3 times. Flip it over, shoulder to the hand 3 times. Underneath, underarm to the little finger 3 times, and relax. Now we're going to pound a little bit on the chest. Come down a little bit. Pound into the abdomen. Out to the hips. The buttocks. And the kidney area. And relax. Just feel how energetic your body feels. It might feel like it's buzzing a little bit. All right, so now we're going to go down the fronts of the legs. All the way to the middle toes. The outside edge of the legs. You can have your knees bent all the way to the little toes. And the insides of the legs, all the way to the big toes. Then we're going to knock below the knees 3 times, 3 times. So 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Above the knee, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Outsides of the knees, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Insides of the knees, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Bend the knees, reach out. Inhale, push off with your feet. Come all the way up. And exhale, Tadasana. And watch the breath come back to neutral. So maybe with doing that, your heartbeat is a little faster. Your breath is a little faster. Maybe not. It might just be because I'm talking that I'm feeling that. So we're going to bring the feet back to Tadasana so they're right underneath the hips. Anchor the inside edge of the ball foot, the outside edge of the heel, the outside edge of the ball foot, the inside edge of the heel. Step into the center pad of the heel. Align ears over shoulders, over hips, over ankles. Take a breath in and reach. Look up, look at your hands or just beyond the hands. And as you exhale, float the arms down with the palms up. Take the shoulder blades down the back and relax down. Inhale, reach out and up. Exhale, arms out, shoulder blades down, and relax. One more time, inhale up. Exhale out, shoulder blades down the back, and relax. Inhale, reach out and up with the left arm, and across to the right. Right hand slides down the leg. Inhale up, exhale, relax. Inhale, reach up. As you exhale, come across, hand slides down the leg. Really lengthening even underneath on the left side. Inhale, come back up. Exhale, relax. Inhale, up with the right arm. Look up at that right hand and reach for the ceiling and let the right heel off the floor. Keep reaching, 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 reaching. As you exhale, keep the right hand up just as far and take the right heel down. Feel that stretch on the right side. As you exhale, come forward, come down. Inhale up with the left arm. Reach, 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 reach. Take the left heel off the floor. Keep reaching, keep reaching, keep reaching. As you exhale, heel down. And keep reaching. Feel the left side stretch. Inhale. And exhale and lower the arm. Inhale again, reach out and up. Exhale, coming forward, bending the knees and reaching out in front and taking the buttocks back as far as you can. Take the abdomen back, take the abdomen in, take the buttocks back as far as you can without losing your balance. Just do it minimally if that's good for you. And then press into the feet and reach up. Inhale, exhale, relax. Shoulder blades down the back, arms coming down slowly, and release. And one more time, take a breath in, reach out, bend the knees, and this time we're going to take the buttocks back one more time. And the abdomen draws in and helps to pull the buttocks back. See if you can get the knees over the ankles. Reach with the arms so that you counterbalance that. Inhale, push off with your feet. Exhale, come back down. We're going to do one more of these chair poses. Breath comes back to neutral. This time we're going to stay in chair pose, not take the buttocks way back. Watch that your knees keep following the middle of your feet, that you're not turning your feet out. Take a breath in, reach out and up. If you can't reach up, it's too much for your arms, then put your hands on your hips. Inhale, reach. As you exhale, bend the knees and sit. And see if you can relax a little bit. Let the shoulders relax, let the lower back relax, still reaching. Maybe you can look up between the hands. Take a breath in. As you exhale, push off with your feet and release the arms. And walk the shoulder blades down the back and relax. So we're going to do triangle pose. We're going to take the feet apart, comfortable distance. We'll line up the right foot. Right foot is facing the wall to the right. And line up that foot, the middle of that foot, with the middle of the arch on the back foot, and turn the back foot in just a little bit. And in triangle pose, you are moving the hips to the left. When your front foot is pointing to the right, you're moving the hips to the left. You can do that by moving the hips and swinging them. You can do that by pressing the hips away with your right hand. And as you do that, the right side is staying really open, long on the right. And you'll tuck the sit bone in on the right side so that it's right over the line between the 2 feet. And take your left shoulder, look at it, roll the shoulder back and take the head with it so the chin moves with the shoulder. And then inhale up, and if you can, you're looking up at that hand, but if you can't, that's fine. You could be using a chair right now and holding on to a chair with your right hand. Exhale, dive into that right side. Take a breath in and out. Another one in your own rhythm. Notice how the breath changes the pose, how the pose changes the breath. And then breath in, bend the front knee. And as you exhale, bring that left arm back and stand in Tadasana again. Notice that your right and left side feel different now. One might feel longer. One might feel more grounded. You just notice what it is for you, but they're probably feeling different right now. And then we'll turn the left foot out and point it to the left. And take the right foot and line it up so that it's the middle line between down the left foot runs into the arch of the right foot. Now, with the knee bent initially, this is a straight knee pose, but we're going to straighten it by moving the hips and by moving the foot into the floor on the front foot. So the hips are going to swing to the right this time. And you can do that without using any hands, or you can put your left hand in the hip joint and push the hip toward the right. As you push the hip toward the right, you're pushing the left foot into the floor at the same time. And that starts to work this left leg towards straight. If the inside of your knee hurts, one, you might be just plopping into the back of your knee, and that might make it hurt. Or you might be sticking the buttocks way out on the left. Bring it in so it's over the line between the feet. And the other thing that might be happening is you're turning out too much with the right hip. So drop it in just a little bit until the inside of the left knee feels good. Again, we're going to push into the hips, take the hips to the right. And breathe. Tuck the sit bone on the right in over the line between the feet. Look at the shoulder on the right, the upper shoulder. Line up your chin and the shoulder and roll the shoulder back. Keep anchored in the four corners of the feet. So on the back foot, you have to go a little bit more to the outside edge so that you're not losing that outside edge of the foot. Breathing, maybe you take the arm up and look at the hand, maybe not. And you might have a hand on your chair, on the back of the chair. Breathing. Notice how the breath changes the pose, how the pose changes the breath. And as you exhale, bend the front knee, come back to center. Walk the feet into Tadasana. And observe. So we're going to do a symmetrical pose to counter that asymmetrical pose that we just did. And right and left side will be doing exactly the same thing. We're going into Prasarita Padottanasana. You have the feet apart, pretty far apart, wide apart pose it is. That's what the pose tells us, wide apart foot pose. So now the tendency is for the knees to go in toward the inside of the big toe. Instead, you're going to turn the knees to face the middle toes or even the little toes. So you do that by the hips turning out and leaving the knees bent for a moment. We're going to fold forward and put our hands on the thighs. You can use your elbows to turn those thighs out and help them to point toward the middle of the feet or the middle of the little toes. Breathing. Now we're going to push into the floor, but not change the pelvis or the spine. And the spine is really straight. with the front just as long as the back. Breathing, pressing into the feet. You feel the floor of the pelvis get strong. Maybe the rib cage gets strong. Maybe the waist narrow and extend the front body. And then those of you who can press into the floor and take the buttocks up while you push into the floor to get the buttocks to go up. And you draw in through the abdomen, still the torso exactly the same. You fold in the hip joints, not in the upper back. Still the torso exactly the same as before. And then bending the knees. Inhale and reach out. Push off with the feet. Exhale and come back to Tadasana. And breathe. Watch the breath come back to its normal rhythm. And then we're going to sit down. So have a blanket that you can sit on. Should have told you to have that ready. You're going to sit on that blanket so that the sit bones are on the blanket, but the sit bones are on the blanket, but the backs of the thighs are off the blanket. There, I hope you can see my feet. We're going to take the legs apart as far as it's good for you to take them. And you could, this is optional, you don't have to do it, but it just helps you to have a point of reference. You could have a block or a book, or a pile of books, which give you an idea of how far you can fold forward. We are folding from the hip joints, not folding the back in, and we are reaching the abdomen forward. Don't worry about the shoulders, they'll just come forward. And as we reach the abdomen forward, we can see how close we get to our block. It's only a point of reference. Let me get a smaller block here. It's a little better. Okay, so I'm not at the block. I'm guessing you are not at the block. As a matter of fact, you'd like a pile of books or a block that you can't get to right away, that you can't reach. And remember, you're moving from your abdomen forward. And we're going to take the backs of the thighs down and the abdomen in and see how close we go to the block. Don't go to a point where your back is bothered. Inhale and come up. Now, it helps to do twists before you do your forward bend. So here we go. We're going to put the left hand behind and the right hand across to the left thigh. Take a breath in, reach into the floor with the right leg and reach away with the right leg and begin to turn. And as you turn, the abdomen turns, the rib cage turns, the shoulder turns. You're not forcing anything, just going as far as it's good for you to go. Take a breath in, come back to center. Exhale, reach across with the left hand, behind with the right. Push off and get tall. Reach into the floor with the left leg and reach away with the left leg as you turn to the right. Looking over the right shoulder, draw the shoulder back. Don't force anything, just let the breath carry you around. Sometimes on the exhalation, you really feel you have a little more space to turn. Inhale to center. And exhale, relax. Now we're going to go to the left one more time. Put the left hand behind, reach across with the right. Take a breath in, get tall. Always want to turn through your length. Pressing the right thigh into the floor, reach the right heel away and begin to turn the abdomen, rib cage, and shoulder. And we're going to keep this turn as we fold out over the left leg. Take the back of the left leg into the floor. Just go as far as you can go without forcing it. Don't put yourself in pain. Notice my toes are facing up toward the ceiling on both feet. And here's something that can help you fold forward. Exhale, draw the abdomen, the lower abdomen in, and get longer in the torso, narrower in the waist, and then fold while you press the back of the thigh into the floor. Take a few breaths. Keep pressing into the floor. Now, instead of going back up, just turn toward the block. And see if you're a little closer to the block without bending the back any more than you did when you first tried it. So you're folding from the hips. Inhale up. And exhale, go to the other side. So we are reaching the left hand to the right thigh, right hand behind. Take a breath in. As you exhale, press into the floor with the left leg, reach it away a little bit, turn and look over the right shoulder, abdomen turns, rib cage turns, shoulder turns. Take a breath in. Be gentle and kind. And then as you exhale, come out over the left thigh. Right thigh, over the right thigh. And you're folding from the hip joints, not from the torso, up in the upper part of the torso, not from the waist. And then you face that right leg. And now we're working with the hamstrings of the right leg, pressing the back of the thigh into the floor. Take a breath in. As you exhale, draw the abdomen in and narrow the waist and extend the torso. Maybe you can come out a little more, but be comfortable. Don't force it. And you find the stretch in the middle of the back of the thigh instead of at the knee or the buttocks. You don't want to be doing this from the knee or the buttocks. Taking that thigh down. This is Chumley. And then we'll go back to the center. Thank you. And maybe you're a little closer to the block. So take a breath in, come back up, come underneath the legs, draw the legs in. Move your block, stretch your feet away, and shake out. So we're going to lie back on the mat and go into relaxation. I'm going to sit, but you're going to be lying down. If your back bothers you when you lie on your back, just bend your knees or put a blanket underneath your knees. I'm going to start by ringing the bell and just letting you listen for a while. I'm hoping that this is being picked up by the microphone. All things that arise pass away. The breath comes, it arises, it goes, passes away. And there's a beginning and an end. There's also a middle. So listening to the beginning, listening to the middle, and listening to the end. So every aspect of life that has an arising has a passing away. And it has a middle also. So right now we're in stay at home and social distancing. It has an arising. It started some time ago. It has a middle time, which we're all dealing with right now. And it will have a passing away. And recognizing that helps us to deal with what might not be very comfortable in life, what might be uncomfortable or unpleasant in life, knowing that it will pass away. So now just resting in the quiet. I'm going to be quiet for a moment and observe. Moving just a little bit, seeing what it's like to move after relaxing the muscles, after listening, being quiet, still. Eventually you can move on to your side, but you just take your time. You don't have to move at all right now. This is your class at home. You can just stay where you are. You don't have to get up. If you'd like, you can come up to sitting and bring your hands to namaste, to prayer position. Namaste is an honoring of ourselves and one another. I honor in you what I see in myself, a being of love and light and truth and peace. And I know that when you come from that in you and I come from that in me, we recognize our oneness. We can take a break many times during the day and honor in our hearts each being that we come in contact with, whether it's a person living in your household or someone on the phone or someone on Zoom or email, just recognizing that heart space of love and light and truth and